Hey guys, so this is going to be a pretty short video meant to document our semester project for internet computing. It's also part of the final requirements of said project. I hope you'll excuse my voice as well, I've been sick a few days already. So our group approached a photography business and developed a prototype application to at least meet the following needs, right? So the business needed a way for potential clients to view their current workings, or it's just a gallery, right? They needed an application with an admin panel to manage said gallery. They needed a calendar that would enable users to see available dates for booking as well. And this is also being managed in the admin panel. I'll start off with the core technology used. So the application was developed with the MERN stack, meaning the front end was developed with the Vite and React. And so React is just a JavaScript library. It's used for creating component-based user interfaces, right? And Vite is a build tool, so it sort of optimizes the React code and gets it ready for production. The backend is built with Node.js, right? What is that? So Node.js is a runtime that lets you execute server-side code. So Express, right, is built on top of Node.js. It's a small web server, and it makes routing and middleware integration pretty straightforward, really. The database, right, is handled with MongoDB Atlas. And so this is in the cloud, so we don't have to do any sort of server maintenance or anything of the sort. And if you don't know how MongoDB works, right, so it's no SQL, meaning, well, in this particular context, we have something called BSON, right, or binary JavaScript object notation. And it's very similar to regular JSON in that you have something called documents, right, that very much resembles an object. And you can have a group of documents, and it's called a collection, right? And then a group of collections would just be the entire database itself. And I don't want to get into too many details, and I have to keep this quite short. And so Nginx, right, this acts as a reverse proxy, right, that sits between your application servers and the client. It's used for HTTPS enforcement, in this case, routing, static file serving, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right, and the images as well. And so there's a lot of things that you can configure and use Nginx for, and this is just a couple of those things, right? I think one of the more important things as well is that it also handles some encryption for you, right? So it kind of offloads some of the CPU pressure from Node.js itself. Then there is Docker and Docker Compose. So Docker is a virtualization tool, right, that lets you bundle code with all of its dependencies together. So sort of into isolated, reproducible units, right? And so in this application, the front end, back end, and Nginx are all containerized. And so Docker Compose, though, lets you manage all of these containers and their relationships to each other. So I don't really have time to get into the nitty-gritty about Docker and Docker Compose, but they really make deploying an application and scaling them exponentially easier, right? Like I can tell you a couple of years ago, even when I was dabbling with Django, right, it was a nightmare when you were trying to deploy to production. With Docker and Docker Compose, it's like, you know, night and day comparison. Alright, and so all of this runs on a Linux machine, right, which is hosted on Linode, okay? And the server, of course, is RSA encrypted, and there's a firewall, uncomplicated firewall, right? Everybody's favorite firewall. And SSL certificates are also enabled, and this is done with certbot and Let's Encrypt. And of course, we're using Git for version control, so like uploading and downloading your code. So let's sort of like give you a bit of walkthrough on what this application actually looks like now. So you can find it here at riverbigsolutions.com. Okay, I don't know how long I'm going to leave this up, to be honest with you. I'm probably going to need this domain pretty soon. I'm probably going to need the server soon as well. And the Atlas cluster as well. Okay, so yeah, I probably don't expect I'll have this up for more than a month. But here's the basic homepage, right? Pretty simple stuff here. And the gallery, this is what the gallery looks like. So I just have some couple images here that I uploaded. Of course, this is just a prototype. There's lots of improvements to be had here. For instance, right, you can't really click on these images. It would be nice if you could click on them, right, and it would sort of pop up into a modal and allow you to scroll through them that way. But okay, that feature was not implemented. And then booking, right, you can come here and you can sort of see the available dates. Alright, but how does this actually solve the problem or the needs of the client, right? So what the business was requesting particularly was a way to manage the gallery and manage the bookings. And so let's log into our admin panel. Okay, I think I got the password right. Yeah, I think so. Let's just save it. So this is the admin panel, right? Pretty simple. And again, here we're just rendering out the images, but now you'll see that there's also an option to delete them. And so let me just show you how the upload function works for an image. So it's pretty simple. We'll just like do this one. We'll call it low resolution camel. And this is just going to be camel, and let's upload this image. Okay, so it should be somewhere here. Here it is, right? And let's check in the gallery. It should be at the bottom. Yeah, here it is, right? And it's in its own category as well, a camel. And let's go back into the admin panel, and let's try to update something here, right? So let's do today, 24th, and set this as available. And if we come over here to booking, you should see today, April 24th, is marked as available. Let's go back into the admin panel and mark it as not available. So let's pick today. And booked, right? So set the date. And if you come back here into gallery, not gallery, to booking, it should be gone. So yeah, there it is. Pretty simple. I think the only thing left to sort of show you would be how do we delete an image. Let's just delete our camel. So yep, should be gone. There we go. And let's just confirm that it's gone. And it is gone. So there it is. So pretty basic prototype here. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.